of the clover. The night I looked at you, I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a dream that burns my cheek too, a thrill that I have ever known. Oh, you smile, you smile. Oh, and then the spell was cast, and here we are in heaven. For you are mine, and
Deep breath. Want to get married?
Yeah.
Let's get it done. Welcome, everyone. Before we begin, I'd like to give everyone a quick minute to either silence or turn off their cell phones. No interruptions, myself included. Kaitlyn and DJ have chosen you, the people most special and important to them, to witness and celebrate the beginning of this new life together. And today, as we create this marriage, we also create a new bond and a new sense of family, one that will undoubtedly include all of those who are present here today. Should anyone in our audience have just cause as to why these two individuals should not be married on this day, you are years too late. They are going to get married. True marriage is more than simply joining the bonds of marriage of two people. It is the union of hearts. It lives on the love you give each other and never grows old, but thrives on the joy of each new day. Marriage is love, and love is a verb. While it is something you feel, most importantly, it needs to be something that you do. May the two of you always be able to talk things over, to confide in each other, to laugh with each other, and share moments of quiet and peace when those long days are done. May the two of you be blessed with a lifetime of happiness and a home full of warmth and understanding. It is important for our couple today to acknowledge the fact that this journey in love together began with the love they received from others, including all of you here today. So as they hold hands on their wedding day, they offer a heartfelt thank you to all those who are here to share that day with them. Now, the best part of being a wedding officiant are my pre-ceremony interviews. When I conduct them, I try to get as deep as I can into a couple's story so that I can tell their story at the altar, not mine, and let people know what sets them apart from everyone else. In these sessions, I always say I get to witness the inside of their love, and they were no different. No different. Or if they have a special story, because they dodged the typical way of meeting. There was no swiping right. They met wearing uniforms at Kaitlyn's softball team. DJ showed up, smashed a couple home runs, turned around, and left like nothing happened. Kaitlyn was impressed, but she was also intrigued. It took about 2 years, but he never left her mind. Once they met without uniforms, the story became perfect from there. I asked, when did you know? And they both said the same thing, right away. No red flags, similar friends. They were similar people with a similar moral compass. It was easy for them. When I asked DJ, what do you really love about her? He talked about how spontaneous she is and how she gets him out of his shell because he just loves to be around her. He said the way that she advocates for her friends, her family is great. Verbatim. He said she makes people better. And that's a very high compliment. And when I asked Kaitlyn the same, she said, DJ's so smart, but nobody knows how funny he actually is. She said everyone loves him, and she admires how comfortable he is in his own skin. He doesn't feel it necessary to pretend for anyone. And whether she needs a wingman for a random trip, an avocado, someone to make her salmon, both things that he does not like. She knows he'll bend over backwards to get them for his bride. If there is a secret to finding true love, trust me, these two have uncovered it, and it's a pleasure to be able to witness it. A common mistake happens when people try to define marriage. Many wedding officials will stand before a couple with readings and poetry that will put marriage in a very particular context. And while that may work for some, I just urge the two of you to make this marriage an extension of what you've already built. When that box feels too small, Kaitlyn, feel comfortable leading him outside of it. And DJ, when she's making it way too big for you, take her hand and make it smaller. Just always do it together. Because what is occurring on this day is that you will leave here as a family. You're not just pledging the greatest of all vows to each other, but to your family and friends in the presence of God. Create a marriage. Create a life that is in your image. And make that the cornerstone of the legacy you leave. And before we go into our ring exchange, I'd like to read a poem by a gentleman named Robert Fulham entitled Union. It says, "You have known each other from the first glance of acquaintance to this ultimate point of commitment. And at some point, you decided to marry. From that moment of yes to this moment of yes, indeed, you have been making promises and agreements in an informal way. But all those conversations that were held riding in a car, over a meal, or during a long walk, every sentence that began with when we're married, continued with I will, you will, we will, those late night talks that included words like someday, somehow, and maybe, all those promises are unspoken matters of your heart. All those common things and more, that's the real process of your wedding. The symbolic vows that you were about to make are a way of saying to one another, you know all those things that we promised, that we hoped, that we dreamt? This is my way of confirming that I meant every word. Look at one another, into your eyes, and most importantly, your heart, and remember your moment in time, because this is it. Before this moment, you've been many things to one another. Acquaintance, friend, companion, dancing partner. Who's the better dancer? Who's better? You. And even teacher. For I'm quite positive that the two of you have learned much from one another over these last few years. But now you shall say a few words that take you across the threshold of life, and things won't ever be the same. For after these vows, you shall say to the world, this is my husband, and this is my wife. Can I please have the presentation of rings? Please present Kaitlyn with the one she plans on presenting to you. Just hold them just for a second. Traditionally, the passage to the status of husband and wife is marked with an exchange of rings and vows. These rings are a symbol of an unbroken circle of love. For love freely given has no beginning and no end, no giver and no receiver. For each of you will be the giver and the receiver. These wedding rings will serve as an outward and visible sign of an inward and invisible bond which has united you two hearts in love. And the vows that you will recite to one another represent a promise of partnership and are words that only the two of you can make come true. So if you want to hand me the rings, I'll give them back to you. Grab your vows.
Thank you.
Kaitlyn first. You ready?
Yeah. Wish I'd practiced more. Okay. 10 years ago, I interviewed a couple who had been married for 70 years. I asked what their secret was, and their answer always stuck with me. Everyone knows the meaning of I love you, but two little words, thank you, that's what keeps a marriage going. They started and ended their days by saying those two little words. So DJ, thank you for loving and supporting me unconditionally, for encouraging me to keep striving for my goals, no matter how crazy or time-consuming it might be to run a marathon or write a novel, for always listening when I say, hear me out, I have an idea, and always being up for the adventure that comes next. for teaching me how to be a UConn fan, and for cheering on the Vandals even when they're not nearly as good. For never holding me back from my independence and always waiting for me with open arms at the end of the day. For waking me up when I fall asleep on the couch. For dancing with me even if it's to the nonsense beat in my head. For spending time with me in my favorite place, and for knowing that place will always be my home. I'm so lucky to have 2 homes now, Moscow and anywhere I'm with you. I promise to love you, cherish you, laugh with you, build a life of adventure with you, to challenge you and to be challenged by you. I promise to do life together no matter what comes our way. A few years ago, I jokingly referred to you as my live-in life partner. Boyfriend just didn't cut it, and we agree the word fiance is a weird word. You are my best friend, my love, and now finally a word to encompass all that you are to me, my husband. Your turn.
It's not fair, she's a writer. Kaitlyn, you are the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. You're not only my partner, but you're my best friend. I'm glad you took a chance on me, because you're everything that I could have ever asked for. Everyone knows I'm a man of many words, so I'll try to keep this short. When we met, I knew there was something special about you. It took me a while to realize it, but now I just know how special you are. There's so many things that I admire about you, and the list is ever growing. I admire that you stay true to yourself, regardless of the situation. I admire the way you push yourself, even if it leads to running a marathon or trying to get married in the rain. But most of all, I admire the way that you treat your friends like family, and you keep your family so close to your heart. I promise to always be your shoulder to lean on in the good times and when things get tough. I promise to be your adventure partner, no matter how crazy the ideas may sound. I promise to share a bit of my food, even when I don't really want to. And I promise to bring you coffee and sweet treats, as it brings the smile to your face that I truly love so much. I can't wait to continue our journey together and discover what the future holds. I love you more than I thought that was possible, and so glad that I get to call myself your husband.
Kaitlyn, please place the ring that you plan on presenting to DJ on his ring finger. Yep,
Your left hand.
Yes, it is. Will you, Kaitlyn, take DJ as your husband, to share in your path, as your equal in love, and as a mirror to your true self, promising to honor and cherish through good times and bad, until death do you part?
I do.
Will you, DJ, take Kaitlyn as your wife, to share in your path, as your equal in love, and a mirror to your true self, promising to honor and cherish through good times and bad, until death do you part?
I do.
Smart man. Home stretch, ready?
Yeah.
Let's get it. With your hand like you love me. As a family, the two of you are charged with creating a home filled with love, laughter, and most importantly, compassion for one another. You will promise to work with each other, knowing that together, you're about to build a life far better than what you would have imagined for yourself alone. Today, you have made the choice to share in life's adventures and all of its joys from this day forward and all the days of your lives. Build dreams together. Support each other in times of trouble. Rejoice in times of happiness. Keep the promise of giving respect, love, and loyalty through all the trials and triumphs that life will throw your way. This is a commitment that needs to be made in love, kept in faith, lived in hope, and made anew every day of your life. Agreed?
Agreed.
Perfect. So, I don't need my book for this. Now that you have exchanged your vows in the presence of your friends and your family and myself, I can proudly and humbly pronounce you husband and wife. Please kiss your bride.
Sugar pie, honey bun. You know that I love you. Can't help myself.
Guys, do a kiss right there.
Nobody else. In and out of my life, you come and you go. Leaving just your pictures of eyes. I kissed it 1,000